If you're creating content and you're not seeing the results that you want, then this one little shift in perspective, or maybe you could call it a big strategy change, could change everything for your content and the things that you're making for social media. So my name is Traci Reuter, and today I want to talk to you about a principle that I learned in a book many, many years ago, and it's gone on to be the guiding principle behind every single campaign I have ever built over the last many years. Let's just put it that way. So if you ever read the book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I don't know if you've heard of the book. If you haven't, I highly suggest you add it to your reading list. It's a classic and it's a good one. One of the habits in this book is called Begin with the End in Mind. And this is something, it's not necessarily a marketing principle, but it's a principle that has become a marketing principle for my agency and for everything I've done for both my own business marketing and for every single client we've ever worked with. And the way I apply this, let's talk about how you apply this whole concept of with the end in mind to your content creation, because this is incredibly important and it's going to guide you. So often today, I think we feel this incredible pressure to be getting content up on Instagram and making sure we're over on TikTok and that we have our YouTube channel going. And we're just overwhelmed with the need to create content. And that can be really challenging both to you as a creator, but also to you as a business owner. And so it's really important that when you're going to take your time and energy to create content, that you do it with some intentionality. And so this is where the whole concept of begin with the end in mind comes into play. So let's talk about how you utilize this. And it's really simple. So the first thing is you want to define your outcome. What is it that you want with the piece of content? Now, full disclosure, I'm creating this. This video is going to go on my YouTube channel, but it's really being created for my email list. And I'm doing this because I want my email subscribers to get more and more value out of being a part of my world. And it helps me to be able to share some of my knowledge and content. So I know what my end goal is. It's to further and increase engagement with my audience and provide even greater value. So I know what my end goal is. So that's the first thing you need to do is the piece of content that you're creating. Is it to drive sales? Is it to drive website traffic? Are you trying to get more people on an email list? Or what is it exactly are you trying to do? So you start with that first. And it seems really obvious, but I ask this question so often. I ask it of friends, of peers, of associates, of clients, of team members. What's the end goal? What are you trying to do here? And so often the answer is, I'm not sure. Maybe get more traffic, get more eyeballs. And yeah, that's typically always the answer, but it's usually more nuanced than that. So taking a minute before you start your content, before you start creating it, before you hit play or you hit record on your video or whatever the case might be, knowing exactly what the end goal is. Define what success is. Then from there, what you're going to do is you want to work backwards, right? Once you've defined what that ideal outcome is and you start working backwards, you'll be able to create the type of content that your ideal audience would like to consume. Now, here's the thing about this. It can get a little complicated once you're really understanding where your audience is in their buyer journey. A lot of times, and this is really a subject for a whole nother video, but a lot of times what happens is we start to work backwards and we want to create a piece of content to get somebody to buy from us, but we're putting that content in front of people who are not they're not ready yet. They're not at the stage of awareness where they're ready to buy. So you really need to think through a few things, but what's your end goal? And then you start to work backwards. So if your goal is to get someone to sign up, to get a lead magnet, you might provide a little bit of value with a teaser to get more. If it's to get sales, you might be speaking to somebody that you've been speaking to for a long time because you're moving them through the buyer's journey. And again, I get into that in great depth in one of my courses, Profit Over Popularity with Buyer's Journey and things like that. So once you've defined your outcome, you start to work backwards. It really will guide you, the type of content you're going to create, the calls to action, the hooks, all of those things. And then from that point, you just start to measure, adjust, and repeat. You look at the process. Did you see results with that? If you didn't see results, what can you adjust next time? What can you tweak? Maybe it was your opening hook. Maybe it was your call to action. Maybe you had what we call in social advertising, we call it a message to market mismatch. Basically, what that means is the message that I'm sharing is misaligned with the market. There's a mismatch between the two of them. And that could be something as simple as somebody who is never heard of you, doesn't know you, doesn't like you, doesn't trust you, and you ask them to buy from you on the first shot. That's like asking somebody to marry you the first time you meet them. And so it's really important to understand these concepts because it will make a huge difference in the types of content that you create and the effectiveness of that content. I've been behind so many millions of dollars of advertising campaigns and all on social advertising. And so even though I haven't been behind organic campaigns as much, it's the same thing because now it's actually magnified because we're putting money behind content that we're putting in front of strangers or different levels of awareness. And so it was incredibly important. It's always been important to really understand starting with the end in mind and working backwards. And that really dictates every strategy that we put together and every strategy that we've run. So with that, I wanted to just share that little nugget with you today. I want to encourage you to really be thinking about it whether it's you're working to master your hooks, whatever it is, whatever stage you're at in your marketing journey, if you can implement this one concept, it will make all the difference. So with that, I'd love to hear from you. Is this something that's new to you? Do you have any questions? Have you used this? And what difference has it made in your business? I love hearing from you. So please hit reply on the email, hit reply on the video, leave a comment, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.